The insanity of my removed sister. The insanity of my removed sister who goes by Bernie Tree 66, Bernie Tree 66. Okay, let's look at this. There were a couple points, and I really don't even want to give this much. And I'm not sure if I will title this under the Bernie Tree 66, but I mean, yeah, okay. That was that was very agitating to watch, and yeah, I see where the Christians would get their what they identify as demonic possession. I see where what they're basing that off of. There were a couple points that I do agree with. However, you missed the whole articulation of because you're conflicted. Okay. Now, what were the things that we needed to point out? Is that you're defending your utmost defense of Caucasians, regardless of if they're poor white or not. Okay. Now, nonetheless, there are poor whites who may not be racist, but these individuals that are not racist have had a huge wake up call, what they may call the nigga wake up call. How there's very few, there's a very small source of them, and the ones that are experiencing this oftentimes go to prison and go to jail. Okay, but they're a small percentage of them, and I guess you could say, according to the system that's at hand, those are the throwaways. Okay. Now, you said the point that I did agree with was black people need to make their own business. But here's the thing. Um, when you keep on reverting or reversing, backpedaling into this dialogue of not racism, but slavery being over, which is the hugest lie of all. If you would use intellect, common sense, and be willing to be open-minded to see things as they truly are, you would realize that by default, um, slavery is more prevalent now, currently, present day. Okay, so you can discontinue and let go of this mindset of anyone being free, let alone black people being free. The reason why is because of integration. See, black males, for some strange reason, wanted to integrate with the system at hand. Okay, for some strange reason, I have no idea. Either that or based off of the attempts of our ancestors doing well, they excelled. They were, well, first of all, it's true. Not all blacks were slaves. Some were taken from Africa. Yes, melanated people existed everywhere. As a matter of fact, melanated people are the oldest living, what you call humans, living on the planet, and Caucasians, Europeans are some of the newcomers. So they're new arrivals, and however they were constructed and however they came into existence. I'm not entirely sure what the whole initial plan was. I don't have evidence of that. I just have hearsay. But let's go back to this whole slavery perception and why it is accepted as it being over, which it has never ended. Actually, there's more slaves now than there was in the past. The reason being is we could say cheap labor. When you say, "Oh, well, that's not slavery. That's work." Well, slavery is hidden as a guise under the word of work or employment. Okay? Anytime that you're forced to a schedule to do meaningless activities, most often cases. And for those who want to do businesses, depending on which status you have, which would come with a last name, which often comes with a skin tone, and comes with corruption. By corruption, I mean, how deep in this shit have we been cooperative with this system at large, and who did we do favors for? If you did favors for and cooperated, then you were able to get a somewhat beneficial or adequate so-called employment, which is slavery. Why is it slavery? Because anytime that I and you and everyone else has to pay for things that we should not be paying for, it's a problem for me. See, I don't have a problem with being a consumer if they were actually quality made products by people who did not feel that they were entitled to own those resources. Because in all honesty and realistically, they do not own those resources. As a matter of fact, plenty of brown people and their land of which they wanted to exist, choose to be exist, and rightfully existed, were killed and murdered. Their homes were destroyed. Their bodies were destroyed. A lot of children and women and even males and men were raped. Just many. There's so many crimes and corruption. It would just disgust you. It would disgust you. But then again, I don't know, because you're proud to be a supremacist. You're proud to be a terrorist, basically, and you're proud to hate on people who want to see you liberated, truly. You were not born to be conforming to, let alone honoring and respecting and upholding the principle of dead resource. The dead resource being the tree and cotton and ink and whatever other materials they use to construct the dollar and the check, okay, or the credit card, really. It's meaningless. Take away the whole entity of it and it means absolutely nothing. You'll see the stupidity in it. Remove the face from it. As a matter of fact, that should insult you, and that should tell you. That dollar bill, I don't care which number it has on it, whether it's the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 100, okay? Whichever dollar that is, you'll see, and it'll look back at you, and you're comfortable with that. And then look on the back of it, and what does it say? In God that you trust. Well, I don't know whether you believe in God or not, but I don't believe in the God that these ones are talking about, because any God that loves you would never put you through this shit, okay? I don't like to do meaningless, mundane activities day in and day out on a set schedule that I did not agree to nor consent to. As a matter of fact, many black women were prisoned and jailed, and it's sad because they don't really go on to mention this. They make the African American experience the titled, I did not agree to this, nor do I consent to addressing myself as such. However, African American women, according to these ones, your leaders, the ones that you like, they imprisoned, so they basically kidnapped and stuck into a cage, okay, removed them from the prison that we're already in and put them in a smaller, more confined, and less resources, you know. And when it comes down to prison, which one do you want to be on? Do you want to be on this plantation, or do you want to be in jail or in prison? That's where they threw them. I mean, I don't know if they literally tossed them, but that's where they placed them. And without permission, without consent, they forced them into a jail cell, okay? Because of work, i.e. slavery, okay? Anytime that someone has to look for a job, and as you said, oh, why don't we put money into doing a business? Well, look up Black Wall Street and you'll see why, okay? Try and go get a loan. Did they give you a loan? If you got a loan, it's probably, and it's entirely, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all for apologizing for the truth. Look, if you were able to get a loan in the skin that you're in, with the hair that you have, okay, that you're so proud of, and you're entitled to feel proud about that. However, if you're finding that things are somehow just easier for you within a system that murders children and rapes children and murders and destroys homes, okay, will dump trash into the ocean, it's just so many different there's so many. I could write series. We could all write series of how many tragedies that go on and have not stopped. Okay, just because they decorate it with the word employment or employee, okay, and then business. I don't know what business you're speaking about. As long as they have institutions that uphold standards on regulations, and such as having to have a patent for something, well, or having to have a license to sell, okay, things of that nature, which regulates that whole activity of having a business. Okay, do you understand? So, in order to get any of that going, now you could hustle, which is what a lot of people are ending up in jail for stupid things that they shouldn't even be in jail for. And I don't know whether you said weed or weave, saying, oh, we should invest our money into this and that. Well, here's another kicker. With the mindset that you have, do you know how difficult it is to speak to another black person about these issues that are in close proximity? Do you have any idea? Well, here's the thing. When there are people, if we can call you that, when there are those who move amongst us and they may appear to be human, okay, whether they're male or female, the lack of trust and the plethora and abundance and magnitude, and you do it at such a massive level, and I can almost assume that you transition. You don't know that you're upholding this distorted point of view, and this distorted and very disrespectful display of that point of view. Okay, it's disrespectful because you're mirroring this to someone who actually cares about you being not only liberated, but to excel and be able to operate out of the system mindset of being in a business. See, and by we, let's just go ahead and say our ancestors, we were able to get our own resources. So we looked for certain herbs and different vegetables and different roots and stuff like that. And then we were able to concoct and create our own medications, okay? Our own bombs. We not bombs, BOMBS. I'm talking about bombs, BALMS, okay? So like our hair and everything from that. We even wore makeup. This assumption that we were just over here like stupid, okay? And then, and mind you, again, let's go back to this. Melanated people existed and exist everywhere on this planet, okay? On what you consider to be a planet. We existed everywhere. So it is untrue to a certain degree when they say, oh, well, we just came over here and it was the natives, the Asians, okay? The Asians came over here. Migrated over here, and those Asians that many people assume are the Indians, Native Americans, which is untrue, okay? And we did not call ourselves American, let alone did we ever call ourselves African. And disgracefully and unfortunately and consequently, because of this system, the leaders, the ones who are in charge of destroying and controlling everyone, including some of their white offspring, okay, Caucasian offspring. They made it their ultimate assignment and their priority to hide the truth, to bury the truth, to destroy the truth, and to burn it and leave no evidence in remaining or reminders or anything to validate us. Okay, so what we practiced, what language we spoke, and all of that. And also, most of the stuff that is appropriated by them today is information that was stolen directly from our ancestors. See, if you could tell, I don't know, because you've been around Caucasians and you have that tone of them, very arrogant and unwilling to think critically. Nothing is justifiable as to the system that we live in. And buying weaves and wearing weave has little to nothing to do with the situation that we're in. If you're basically stating or making it a a point that if we were all to just stop buying, as you say, bad choices, which is ridiculous. If you're stating that if we all stopped buying weave, okay, and tracks and whatever, that would still not fix our situation. Even if we pulled all the money together that we were supposed to go use on weave and weed, it would not fix the problem. There would be so many issues that would get in the way of resolving anything. But I will agree with the part of which we should make our own business, but our business should not be invested in trying to make money in their system, because they're the ones who print it. If you don't believe me, look at the faces on the damn piece of paper. Now, one last thing before I check out. Putting what's her name, Harriet Tubman's face on the bill would not change the thing. See, I could care less about money because they've done way too many scandalous, like I said, series. We could write series, not just one thick book, but series. That's how long the list of tragedies, and it's never stopped. Slavery never ended. You're still enslaved. If I have to pay rent and the rent increases each year that I stay, that's slavery, okay? If I have to be kidnapped and thrown into a jail cell against my will for what? For doing acid, that's slavery. That's my business, okay? And whether somebody wants to put weave on their head is their business. And you having dreads in your natural hair does not mean that you respect or love yourself. It just means that you went and did your hair in dreads, and that's how you keep it up. 15 years, wonderful. How come you didn't leave your hair how it was? How come you couldn't just brush it out and have it free and flowing? Huh? Does that mean anything? So then it's not necessarily wearing your natural hair. You weren't born with locks. What made you assume that that's how you were supposed to style your hair? The exact same, okay, so while you'll go back and say, oh, well, blah, blah, whatever you'll have to say about that, which I would not care, okay, because I don't want to have a dialogue with you. I could not have it after listening to that and just the obscenities and saying, oh, the shut the fucks up. Okay, that part, I mean, yeah, hey, I say it too. But here's the thing, is when the truth is coming to you, you don't know how to actually just listen to it and know it because you're distorted, okay? And calling yourself a bastard is a derogatory term, and I don't see why you would call yourself that, okay? But that's what you choose to call yourself. Anyone who calls themselves a bastard and is okay with that has not gotten over their inferiority, and that's the truth of it. Was there any other points that I reminisced with? Yeah, no, not really. But yeah, Black Wall Street. Yeah, I mean, there was just so many, and no, we were never left alone on our own farmland. Actually, if we were left alone, it wasn't for long because the Caucasian European, mind you, they're immigrants. I wish they had left us alone. See, I'm the product of that. My grandmother was raped. And this wasn't just in the past. Another thing, oh yeah, you keep saying like, oh, well, this just happened yesterday. No, it didn't. I was called a nigger by a Caucasian sadist that my sperm donor decided to be married to. And he allowed and perpetuated right along with the whole entire mafia of what they call a family. And everything I had went through, everything from molestation to verbal abuse to physical abuse to humiliation, dehumanization, to being starved, to being beaten, to having my hair cut off, to just, I mean, I could write series, and that's not even the worst of what we go through. Okay, there are others who are brown, who are either my ancestors or in present day, whether they're a man or a woman or a child, a girl or boy, that are going through worse things, okay, that are being sold into slavery. Another thing, and one last point, I guess, because I really don't care to keep on talking about this. Cynthia had a lot of patience. I fucking don't. Okay, you're crazy, and you shouldn't be trying to educate anyone if you're calling yourself a bastard. I would never take a class from anyone who considers themselves to be a bastard and really truly believes that we were left alone, and that Caucasian Europeans in charge, especially male dominant, are not at fault for what is going on. Okay, and yes, entrapment. The whole thing that they need to set you up goes to show, but yet they're the main ones breaking their own damn rules, but no consequence comes to them. Okay, so you've taken on their ideologies and refused to have any supportive information or research done. You should not ever call yourself an educator. So psychology. I agree with you to a certain standard, being that psychology in itself I'm not against. However, those that are operating within it, oh, definitely. I've been drugged. My brain has been altered, rewired. The whole chemistry of it has been altered. I went from being able to read plenty books from a young age, and I was physically abused because I wanted to read, okay? And by a Caucasian European, okay? Who called us a nigga. And you say that us black people wanted to call us nigga. I never even knew of this terminology. I didn't know anything about so-called race or ethnicity until it was brought to my attention by her. And she made it her priority to be a disgusting, wretched fucking example of a so-called mother. And she had little mixed breed children too. And she worked, she operated like giving her children the upper in the hierarchy, and then me and my so-called brothers. And the reason why they're so-called is because they pledged allegiance to narcissism, which apparently you have also. Okay, but anyways, yeah, no, I never called myself a nigga. I didn't even know about it. Okay. And no, it didn't come from black folks, even though I was raised in the suburbs also. Okay. And all of that negative, I mean, I don't know where this whole thing of you just like your daddy. Well, there might be a point to that. Perhaps have you taken a look at some of these sperm donors? Huh? And what they've done? So when a black woman says just like your daddy, it may be true. Unfortunately and sadly. Okay? Not to harp on black males. Now, am I saying that a woman cannot raise a young boy of her own to be a decent male and man? I don't know. I haven't had any sons. I can't give you my opinion on that or give you facts. All I'm saying is that there's a lack of accountability coming from the sperm donor. And yes, media does have a lot to do with these things. And just like your daddy, perhaps, just like the daddy, is negligent, okay, and would rather allow his daughter to be sacrificed than to leave me with someone who would take care of me, okay? And yeah, so what, other than that, was there, I forgot which one that we had left on. Yeah, you can't blame all this on black people. And yeah, as far as, oh, it was in the past, no, it's not. If I'm being beaten for reading, then it's not in the past. Then that story holds true. That account holds true. That they didn't want black people to learn how to read, because once you figure out how to read, then you see them for what they truly are. Same thing goes for why the fuck would you give me a Bible? Okay. Oh, psychology. So the reason why I'm against psychology is because the ones who are in charge of that are abusing it and using it as a weapon and being the factor as to why our mental health is deteriorated. Everything from the toothpaste to the water, to whatever the fuck they're doing up in the sky, to the trifling ass food that they have in our neighborhoods, because we are certainly not in a community, okay? And yeah, it's a lot of the mentality that you have, the mindset that you have, is it is a display and evidence of pure indoctrination. It's pure indoctrination that you cannot notice that how you're feeling about, especially about black women. Okay, you could probably feel a certain, and then you're blame shifting and putting it on the women, and it actually is not our fault. So your mindset is upheld by an allegiance to narcissism, and that's the issue that it is a poison that has reached and has infected many mindsets, but it's more for males. I'm not saying that there aren't female narcissists. There are. However, it is more susceptible and is found more within males than it is with girls and women. And yeah, I don't know how you consented to that, but you did. And I can't change you. But yeah, other than that, I'm out of here. I don't care no more. I don't care no more about you. That was disgusting. I have no idea how she put up with it, because I probably would have cussed your ass back out, and the show would have been over right at the beginning. But whatever. Work to do. Business as usual for you.